So again, parallelograms have two pairs of parallel sides. Opposite sides are congruent. Opposite angles are congruent. The diagonals bisect each other, and consecutive angles are supplementary. So there's 5 attributes, 5 properties. So we can use that to solve all these problems. To find AD, that's a side. It is opposite of side BC. Since it's a parallelogram, opposite sides are congruent. So that means AD is going to be congruent to BC. Or in algebra terms, that means 7x is going to equal 5x plus 19, because opposite sides are congruent. So that means we can subtract the 5x. We get 2x equals 19. So x equals 19 over 2. You could say 9.5 if you like decimals. So it didn't say what's the value of x. It says what's the measure of AD. So this side, we have to now plug in 9.5 times 7. And you get AD is 66.5. Now to find the measure of angle B, there's angle B, and it's directly across. It is opposite angle D. Opposite angles are congruent. So that means 6y plus 5 equals, because they're opposite angles, 8y minus 17. If this problem did not say it was a parallelogram, we won't be able to apply this stuff. So it has to say it's a parallelogram first. So solve for y, subtract the 6y, we get 2y. Add the 19, you get, or 17, not 19. 17 plus 5 is 22. So that means y equals 11. And then plug it back in to find the measure of angle B. So 6 times 11 plus 5. 66 plus 5, 71 degrees. Now, if we wanted to step it up a little bit and do a little bit more, I could ask you what the measure of angle C is, because we just found the measure of angle B was 71. And way back in the beginning of our notes, we said consecutive angles are supplementary. So B and C, those are consecutive angles. They're right next to each other. If you're going around in a circle, you go B and then you go to C. So they have to be supplementary, so you could find angle C right there, because they have to add to be 180, which means this would have to be 109 degrees, because then they would add to be 180. Since opposite angles are congruent, this is also 109, and this would also be 71. So if you know one angle, you really know all of them with a little bit of subtraction. So here's another parallelogram. We're going to find QR and PR. QR, that's this side over here. It is opposite side PS. Since it's a parallelogram, those things are equal. Those sides are congruent. So subtract the 2z, you get z. Add the 4, you get 8. Z equals 8. So plug it back in to find out what QR is. 3 times 8 minus 4. So 3 times 8 is 24. Minus 4 is 20. Then to find PR, PR is the diagonal here, the entire length of the diagonal. But we do know that diagonals are bisected. They're cut into 2 equal pieces. So that means this piece is congruent to this piece. PT is congruent to RT, which means x plus 9 equals 4x minus 6. So subtract the x, you get 3x. Add the 6, you get 15. Divide, and you get x equals 5. So if x is 5, that means that this side right here, PT, is 5 plus 9, which is 14. And this other side would be 4 times 5, which is 20, minus 6 is 14. It makes sense. They're supposed to be the same length. So to find PR, that's the entire length. So 14 plus 14, 28.